Okay, I'm inside the one of the chicken runs right now, and this is the muscadine vine, actually, or scuppernong vine. I planted 2 years ago right here in the corner, and it's gotten really thick, and you can see it's come up, completely engulfed this enclosure. So these chickens, man, they had it pretty good this year as far as shade goes. I mean, it's pretty good. But you can look and see the scuppernongs up in here, and they're all ready. We've already picked 25 pounds yesterday. Now I'm picking some more, and this is how I do my scuppernongs. I just got this bucket up here where I don't have to hold on to it. And I'm about 6'3", and I just reach up here and grab them. Now, this is welded wire up above me, and it's looks to be 2x4 inch. I can get my hand through it. Watch out, little bee. I can get my hand through it, but it's a little tight. But this is what I'm doing, picking the scuppernongs, and we'll go make some juice out of it with the juicer steamer. And then we'll, at a later date, make a video on canning, as far as canning jelly and stuff, and maybe make some wine. I don't know yet. But yeah, that's it. Here's Leland. Here's some chickens a friend of mine brought to me the other day. Brought me about 15 hens and a rooster, and then those are my hens on the other side. But and their enclosures completely engulfed as well. If you can look up and see, it's been great for these chickens this summer. So. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Alright, so I can do it two-handed. There y'all go. But we're trying to get the ones that are soft and really have a bronze tint to them. And some of the green ones, I mean, as long as they're soft, it's not going to hurt anything. But you don't want these little ones. Anything that's hard, like a BB or something, just, you can leave it. I don't know if it'll ripen up, but I actually have some new scuppernongs coming on. I'll show you here in a minute, and I don't know if they got time to make or not. I don't know, but this is how I do it. I know a lot of people will run kind of like a trellis line and extend their scuppernongs out both ways, and you can do that. But I mentioned in a video before, when I was a kid, the neighbors to my grandparents, come on chickens, had a big chicken run, like built like this with a roof on it, but I mean, it took up a big chunk of land. And this is what they did. They ran their scuppernong vines, and they must have had, well, they had muscadines and scuppernongs and different types of grapes, and anything that vines, they did it, and it covered up the chicken run, so the chickens stayed a little bit shadier, you know, maybe 15 degrees, you know, who knows. So, but that's what's going on now, is we're doing scuppernong juice. And you know, if you see some of these hit the ground, I don't get them all, but that's okay, because the chickens like them. And there's plenty for me and the chickens, and there's plenty for the bees. There's tons of bees in here, and they're not messing with me. They're just doing their thing, and I'm doing my thing. I'll stay away from them, and that's fine too. But I'll take that one out. You always have to cull them out once you get them inside. Put them in the sink and rinse them up. You got to cull them out. So, see that? I just dropped two, and I'm just going to leave them. I'm not going to even bother picking them up. So, all right. Well, stick around, and I'll show you a little bit in a few more minutes what's going on. Okay, so here's outside of the chicken run, the muscadine vine and or a scuppernong vine, and I was going to show you over here I've got some young ones. That's the little bitty ones right there. And I didn't pick all of them. I picked quite a few, but there's quite a few that are still in the green stage. Let's see if you can see. I don't know, it's hard to see up in here. But like there's one right there. He's just not ready. But there's still quite a few in here that can be picked. Here's a green one right here. Just not ready yet. This is the other vine right here where this chicken is. So there's a vine. Hey, here's a chicken up here. Hey, buddy. How you doing? So there's a vine. I guess you call it a plant. We'll just call it a plant. There's a plant here and a plant over there. So between the two, this is the 3rd year in the ground. And of course, the first year there was nothing. Look, here's some more. Starting to put on little ones. So hopefully they'll bloom back out. But the first year was nothing. The second year, I got 2 pounds total off of these vines. And I can show you in the house because I froze them because that just wasn't enough to do anything with. So, but here it is wrapped around. If I can back up. This year, in what, 3 days, we've picked 40 pounds. You can't even see the run. So 40 pounds, that's pretty good. Well, but does that mean I'm gonna have a bad yield next year? I don't know. So I'm making do with what I can. Here we go. Trying to get this other angle from you. Here's the other chicken coop, and you can see it's completely covered. Now I also have the white Okinawan bitter melon growing here, and these aren't. This is it right here. This is a bad example because the bugs have been chewing the crap out of it. But I've got some in the house. There's one growing there. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the scuppernongs, aka muscadines. That's how I pick them. That's how I grow them and where I grow them. So yeah, it definitely shades the chicken run, and it's producing. So stick around and we'll do us up another batch in the steamer juicer. Alright, so these are scuppernongs I picked yesterday. I didn't have time last night to process them, but that's what I got right now. It's about 12 pounds. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get them in some water and wash them. I'll let them soak for a little bit. Oops, I'm splattering that too much. Yeah, it looks like more than you thought. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the trash and stuff. Now, you can destem them, and I do. I try to get the stems. Ooh, there's something. Spider. See that little spider? You got to get that spider out of there. Let's see. But I try to get everything out. All the leaves, all the hard scuppernongs, and the stems and stuff. You don't have to get the stems out if you have this juicer like I got, but I'm going to try to get them out. And I'm going to get these guys washed up, and then we will put them in the juicer and we'll go from there. Okay, this is a Norpro 11 3/4 quart steamer juicer, and it's 4 pieces. And right quick, I just thought I'd show you how this goes together. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with water up to this rim, or just no farther than this rim. I can actually go a little less, and I still, over an hour cooking, don't lose all my water. But that's the main thing you got to make sure of is your cooking temperature. You want to boil the water, but you don't want to. You don't have to boil it on high the whole time, and you want to make for sure you don't run out of water because you can mess up your equipment here. So this is the juice pan. It looks kind of like a bun cake pan. The steam rises up through here and hits the basket. And then you'll have this little juice mechanism, and this little clamp is what allows the juice to flow. So what I do, and you'll see, is I flow mine straight into the jars and can them that away. Most people do a water bath after that. I don't, because they'll seal up anyway. So what happens is you put your water in, you throw your juicer collector on here, like so. This is the juice basket. Now I can fit 12 pounds of scuppernongs in here. I don't know how many quarts that is quite, but it'll sit down in here. And then you have a lid here, and it's got this little hole for steam to come out, but you'll see steam comes out all the way around. It's okay. And once we get cooking, that's what it looks like on the stove. All right, I got my water boiling. I'm gonna go ahead and put these muscadines on top. All right, I put the muscadines up here on top of the boiling water, and you see they're above the top, but my lid has got kind of a pitch to it, so we're gonna put the lid on here, and you can see they fit in there just fine. And we're gonna let her go. The book recommends for an hour, but I'm probably gonna go farther than that, because what I'm finding is after that hour, I'm getting an extra quart or two, so I want to get all the juice I can get. But that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and set this timer for 1 hour, and then like I said, I'm gonna go past that. But usually it takes at least 30 to 40 minutes before you can even start extracting the juice, and you'll know because this tube will juice will come down to wherever you got this clipped off at. But I keep this guy hemmed up there for now, and then yeah, stick around, I'll show you what's coming up next. All right, so we got some juice ready. I'm gonna go ahead and get in my stove. Some people, they boil their jars. I've got mine set at 200 degrees in here, so I'm just gonna take a jar out. Okay, set it in this bowl, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. This is a little bit tedious work. Now, got my jar there, and I'm going to go ahead and just release the juice. Ooh, yeah. It's a little tough. All right. Jar's at 200 degrees, juice is coming off hot. And like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people, they'll water bath this for 5 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it seal. And I'm just going to bring it up below there. I give it an inch, I guess. All right. So now I got my juice in my jar. I'm going to put them on this other side, because we got spaghetti cooking. If I can get it instead. It's hot. That's why I'm trying not to touch it. All right, now, you know these ball Sure-Tight lids. I've been boiling them, and I know you're not supposed to on the new ones, so I'm going to try and do it without boiling on this and see what happens. But regularly, or normally, you would boil your lids and sterilize them, but Ball don't want you to do that now, so let me, I'm going to wipe the rim, even though there shouldn't be anything, because we just came straight out of the tube. But just as a precaution, I'm going to wipe the rim. Go ahead, stick the lid on. And they also said that these lids won't pop, but they do pop, so. And I'm going to go down tight on him. Alright. That's what you end up with. That's your muscadine or scuppernong juice. And I'm just going to set it aside and wait on the next one. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We'll see if they'll pop for us, and we'll go from there. If you were going to make muscadine jelly, obviously you wouldn't put the lid on there. You would just collect your juice and then put it in a pot with your sugar and your pectin to make your jelly. And we're going to do that at a later date. So right now we're just going to get the juice. So stick around. All right, I've been at this for about a little over an hour, And I've turned everything off. And what I like to do is I like to mash mine towards the end, because it's still, there's a ton of juice in here. If you don't get it out, then you're just wasting it. The thing is getting it to flow through once you start crushing it like this. But you can see the grapes have turned kind of a yellowish color. And I'm just trying to collect every last bit of juice that I possibly can. Now, so if I let this sit overnight, now, not that the juice will be good to can, you can drink it, but the last time I let it sit overnight to cool down, I ended up collecting 2 more quarts out of it. I'd like to get those 2 quarts out now. You can see some juice in here just sitting there. So I just need to mash it up. I guess I'll start turning it here with a spoon here in a second. And I just want to get out as much as I can. Alright. Okay, so this is what I got out of this full steamer juicer, which I said was about 12.5 pounds of scuppernongs. And the first one is a lighter color one, and if you notice, the longer I went, the darker the juice, and that's okay. I mean, this one here is really darkened up, and that's okay. So I got 5 quarts and a pint of juice, and I'll add that up to the rest of the collection. I think I'm around 18, somewhere between 18 and 20 quarts now of scuppernong juice, and it's not all going to be made into jelly. Some of it is, but a lot of it. Google scuppernongs or muscadines and look at the benefits to them. So there's a lot of good heart health benefits and cancer benefits to this stuff. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a message. Let me know what you think. If you've done this, if you do it a little different or whatnot, and we'll catch you on the next video.